What is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today I am going to be doing a tier list of most of the top players in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. Now, the top players is kind of a tough thing because I couldn't include every amethyst through pink diamond player, so I tried to include who I think are some of the top players. Now, remember, there's going to be some pretty dang good players in C tier. It's just the way it's going to have to be because these players are the best of the best. Now, I like doing just the overall top players because if you do like just always having the best squad, I want you guys to know how I value each and every one of these cards. Now, before we dive any further today into this video, if you are new to my channel and have not yet, please consider smashing that subscribe button as we are on the road to 80,000 subscribers. Just reached 78,000 today, and I cannot thank each and every one of you guys enough. So we're going to start off with Allen Iverson, and quite honestly, it really depends because Allen Iverson in the right hands is a problem. But the deal with AI is, what are those right hands? You really have to be an absolute cheeseball to run this card, and even if you are a cheeseball and want to run Allen Iverson, he's still a liability on the defensive end of the court. I think right now, for the best players in the game, I can't put him higher than C tier just based on where we're at in 2K in general. But if you are like a pro-am point guard, or if you are a cheeseball and like 300 those types of things, then Allen Iverson might be that point guard for you. It's just for me personally, I've used Allen Iverson. He was okay. I don't like playing against him necessarily, but he's just not, I'm not the biggest fan of him. Amar'e Stoudemire. Man, oh man, is Amar'e not very good in 2K. He's got a 76 3 ball, 78 speed, 60 lateral quickness, struggles on the defensive end, can't make plays really, doesn't even have catch and shoot. This card stinks. As far as the best cards in my team, he's F tier. I don't care what anybody says. If you grind a domination, if you like Amar'e Stoudemire, do what you've got to do. But I don't even know if he's a top 100 card in my team right now, which I will be doing that list at some point. But right now, I have trouble even believing in the slightest that Amar'e Stoudemire is a top 100 card. His speed's okay, but that's about all he can give you. Andre Kirilenko, masked AK-47. I'm going to throw an S tier. He might get moved down, but I personally believe right now he's an S tier player. 83 ball, good release. But look at his defense. 88 speed, 94 lateral quickness in these defensive badges. That's why I have him in S tier. Give him quick first step. You give him sniper. He is going to be fantastic with the jump shot 29. Again, whether you run him as small forward, power forward, I don't really think it matters. But you can't expect Andre Kirilenko to be the best offensive player in the game. Defensively, he's up there, probably a top 5 defensive player in all of 2K. Offensively, again, he's got jump shot 29. As far as a 3-and-D player, AK-47 is immaculate. Anthony Davis, maybe another S tier card here in Anthony Davis because right now, is he the best center in the game? I think he's probably top 2. Depends if you run Dolph at center or not. 6'10", 7'2" wingspan. Really good badge-wise. Shot is incredible. The only thing Anthony Davis really lacks is rebounding, but my AD, I get it, he doesn't have rebound chaser, holds his own because I did upgrade his rebounding and vertical. So he holds his own for me. Defensively, he's going to be pretty solid on the interior. I know a lot of people are like, Ty, he's going to get mashed. He does a little bit, but he has a 92 interior, decent block, and some good Hall of Fame defensive badges on the interior. He doesn't really get mashed as bad as some of the other guys, some of the other centers you might try running. I think AD's S tier. We might move him down to A tier, but I'm going to start with S tier. Ben Wallace, as far as centers, is okay, but as far as just the best centers in the game, I don't know if he's above C tier because here's the thing, as far as defensive centers, he's up there, maybe one of the top in the game, but he's not nearly perfect. It's only 6'9", right? Still, again, on the interior, he's going to be fantastic. I'm going to drag him to B tier right now. He might get moved down, though. Just can't shoot the ball. Offensively, really can't do anything for you. He's just really defensive-minded, and honestly, that bodes well for what I personally do. And when we further get a Ben Wallace later on in 2K that can shoot, I'm going to be super high on him. For now, I'm going to drag him to B tier. We'll see where Big Ben ends up. Bernard King, another guy I'm going to put at B tier. Now, Bernard King is very solid. Is he as good as Andre Kirilenko? No, but he is very solid. The thing is, defensively, he's not going to be nearly as good as Andre Kirilenko. And that's really it. I mean, release-wise, fantastic. Same 3-ball as AK. I know I'm comparing him a lot to AK. But the problem is defensively, he doesn't hold it down nearly as well as AK. It's only 6'7" instead of 6'9". If you run Bernard King, that's fine. He can play. But I don't think put him any higher than B tier. There's a lot of small forward, power forwards into this game that I prefer over a guy like Bernard King. Still, statistically speaking, very, very solid in 2K. And if you are grinding collector level, I don't think there's anybody that's going to sit here and tell you that Bernard King can't play for you. But it comes down to, is he a top, 30 card in the game? And I just don't think he is. Carmelo Anthony, I'm going to drag him to S tier. I do think he is still definitely S tier. Now, with the latest drop, I don't necessarily think he's a top 5 card in the game anymore. He still might be on the verge. We'll see. But he's not the best card in the game anymore. And that's kind of what changed. 6'8", 7-foot wingspan, still incredible. Hotspot, 7 Hall of Famers, 27 on gold, 13 on silver with 4 on bronze. If you fully badge him up, which I have a fully badged up Carmelo, there's not many better cards in all of 2K. Give him Monty Williams. 3-ball basically goes up to a 99, speeds a 95. Give him a lateral quickness shoe, maybe interior perimeter defense, help him out a little bit defensively. You're looking at one of the top cards in all of 2K still to this day. Better on next gen than current gen, just because on current gen he does step in for that corner 3, which makes it a long 2, which hurts his value. But on next gen, he's a top small forward in the game, and I don't think anybody's gonna argue that. Caron Butler, I mean, Caron Butler's not bad for a free card, and that's what I'm saying. We're gonna have some good players at D tier, but even though he's not bad, I still think he's D tier. He lacks a lot of defense. Playmaking wise is not great. Shooting wise, he's gonna be just fine. But that's really it. He's going to shoot the ball really, really well. And I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat things on the defensive end. And as far as being a playmaker, he's not great. I'm going to put the next guy, Chris Mullen, in a tier. You guys might be surprised. But that's why Caron Butler's in D tier. Chris Mullen, a card I personally play right now on my account. I'm going to put him in B tier. Now, I know a lot of you guys love Chris Mullen, are super high on the card. I'm high on him, but I don't think I can go any higher than where he's at right now, and that's B tier. The reason I say this, hear me out, he's a cone. He is a certified cone who is not great on the defensive end of the court. Yes, he is arguably the best shooter in all of 2K, but how far does that really take you? For a guy in November, right? It's November. How far does a pure spot-up shooter take you? I don't think it takes you very far. As far as at the small forward position, I'm not super high on Chris Mullen. Chris Webber, though, is a card I am super high on, and I'm still going to drag to S tier. Again, we might have some movement up here at the S tier eventually, but as far as right now, I think it'd be weird if I did not have Chris Webber at the top tier. I still prefer Anthony Davis to Chris Webber, so if I have to decide between the two, I'll decide to go to Anthony Davis. And really the difference is I prefer Anthony Davis's release. The Hall of Fame rebound chaser is definitely nice. Defensively, you can argue that AD is better defensively than Chris Webber. But the big deal is Chris Webber is just going to be a way better rebounder. That's the really big difference. Chris Webber is going to rebound the ball a lot better. Anthony Davis has a better release. That's really what you're looking at. Chris Webber can't get quick first step either, which I think is another downfall. I mean, Dave being here, guys, I'm sorry for everybody who's locked in for Dave being. This card is not very good in 2K. He's just not. And the reason he's not good is he has set shot 4. Set shot 4 is terrible. I'm still putting him where he is because he's 6'3". He's going to be decent enough on the defensive end, so I don't think he's absolutely worthless. I don't think I can go above C tier, though, because of how bad set shot 4 is. If set shot 4 was good, let's just say they gave him, Ray Allen base, just for the sake of this video. You're probably looking at the best point guard in all of 2K when you badge him up. But the problem is he doesn't have that release, and instead he has one of the worst releases in the game. So that goes from being an S tier point guard to a C tier point guard. Derrick Rose up next. I think we're looking at our first A tier player in Derrick Rose. For the average good player, they're going to have a lot of success with this Derrick Rose. I know people are saying the Ruby is basically the same. Are they the same? Here's what I'll say. If Derrick Rose didn't have quick first step on Hall of Fame, they're pretty similar. The Hall of Fame quick first step, the better shooting by 4 attributes. There's just a little bit of differences in the card, right? That's really all I will say. I prefer the Diamond Derrick Rose, obviously, because of the Hall of Fame quick first step. That makes a little bit of a difference. Diamond Derrick Rose is very solid. The Ruby Derrick Rose is also pretty solid in the game. I might be too high on Derrick Rose. We'll see. Maybe I'll have to move him down eventually. But right now, I'm going to put him in as far as put him in at that A tier. Dikembe Mutombo, we're looking at... this is a really tough one for me. And this is a really, really tough one. I don't know if Dikembe is S tier. I'm going to have to put him at S tier. And it's just tough though, because it's preference between him and Chris Webber. It really is. If you like playing at, more up tempo and don't mash, Chris Webber's better. But yet Dikembe Mutombo is 7'2" and can mash Chris Webber's head in. So I don't know where we're looking at for Dikembe and Chris Webber. This is a really tough one for me, a tough position to be in. I'm going to adjust my S tier, but for now, I'm just going to leave it because I don't want to mess with it because I have no idea what I'm going to do right now. I still need some more time to decide. But if you look at Dikembe Mutombo, he's fantastic all the way around. The only downfall to Dikembe is his speed. Outside of his speed, he's badge-wise and stat-wise incredible. Release-wise, set shot 17 is slow. We know this. Still a very easy to time and easy to green release. I'm going to have to do some adjustments. My adjustment is going to be this. That's my adjustment. Instead of keeping them both at S tier, we're going to move them both down to A tier. And heck, I might even move AD down to A tier. That's really what I might do. That is how high I am on Dolph Chase. I don't even think you can compare Anthony Davis to Dolph Chase. I just don't. This guy is in a league of his own, whether you do play him at power forward or center. I really don't think it matters. This guy is in a league of his own. You fully badge him up. If you fully badge him up, you give him. All you got to do is give him clamps. You give him interceptor. You give him some of these extra shooting badges, maybe Deadeye, for example. Fast twitch. I don't know if that's a good badge or not, but you give him fast twitch. This guy is going to be incredible. He absolutely is. Whether you do run him at power forward or center, that's up to you. Dolph Chase is absolutely fantastic. Dwight Howard is good, but he's an A tier player. And Dwight Howard's one of those cards that I personally would never even think about using D12. There's not one time I've ever loaded up the game and thought, well, maybe I'll lock in Dwight Howard today. Never. The dude's an inside big, but he's the best at what he does. As far as inside bigs are concerned, find me a better one than Dwight Howard. Oh, wait. You're not going to. For inside bigs, for interior bigs, you're not going to find a better one than Dwight Howard. The problem is most people can't run inside bigs. I'm going to leave Dwight Howard right here at A tier. Next up, we do have Elgin Baylor, who I think is a very, very solid option at the small forward position. I think as an all-around small forward, he's very solid. How solid, that's a tough thing because you do have to upgrade him a little bit to make him better. And the thing is, he only can get bronze clamps. Lacks a lot of shooting badges as well. Just having a pretty mediocre release. Not really going to be able to dribble. But just look at the stats. 95 speed, 87 3-ball, 85 driving dunk, 88 lateral quickness. Just a good rebounder, good playmaker. Like, he can just do it all. And that's the thing for Elgin. Whether you want to run him, Bernard King, Chris Mullen, I just think they're all in the same boat. Maybe Bernard King's a step ahead. But again, if you compare their stats, is Bernard King really that much better than Elgin Baylor? I don't know the answer to it. Maybe a little bit, but I don't think it's by enough to separate them that much. Do still think Bernard King's that little bit ahead of Elgin. Maybe Bernard King is that A tier caliber. Gary Payton, I'm dragging to S tier. I do not have the card yet. I probably will have him in the next few days on my road to 250K account. But he's solid. I mean, 6'4", 6'7", wingspan. You look at the cards, 7 on the favors, 25 on gold, 15 on silver. A lot of the people that I've played against that have had Gary Payton have been the 3 hunting type of players. And Gary Payton's not great for that. But if you are a defensive-minded player like me, I think Gary Payton is going to be perfect and just great for what I need him to do. Shifty dribble style, jump shot 40 is going to be just fine. You're just going to have to run somebody that can make plays at the 2 alongside him. And then I think you're looking at the best point guard in all of 2K. George Girvin up next. I mean, George Girvin is okay. He's okay. When I say that, I mean it. Only a 77 3-ball, decent speed, lateral quickness, can't really handle the ball defensively, leaves a lot to be desired. He's D tier. I mean, he's similar to Butler in that they're just both guys that aren't terrible, but they're not great. They just do some things for you on the court, but they're not all-around players. They're not complete players. They're just both okay. If you get either one of them, they're free cards to get, one from the draft mode, one from Ascension. You can run them and have some success with them. D tier as far as the all-around top cards in the game isn't that terrible. Agent Zero Gilbert Arenas is very similar to Dave Bing. I think these cards are super similar. Here's the deal. If both these cards had better releases, they would be a lot better. Now, I know this says Gilbert Arenas is plus 205. Here's the reason that it says plus 205, okay? Strength, interior, post moves, dunking, rebounding. That's why. Dave Bing's lateral is a lot better. Dave Bing's faster. I mean, they're not that much different of cards. I know Gilbert Arenas has a lot of those stats, especially interior defense, that actually is pretty solid. But he's by no means the best player in the game. Hall of Fame bullet's a good badge to have. But still, for me to put Gilbert any higher than C, I just think would be discrediting Dave Bing and Allen Iverson both. I do not like Gilbert Arenas very much. That's why he is C tier. Glenn Robinson is a card that when he first got released, I don't think people realized how good this card is. Danny Granger, throw him right in with Glenn. Both these cards are fire. I mean, they both are gonna do basically the same thing for you. Be good shooters, jump shot 29, a good release, just good all-around players. Defensively gonna hold it down for you. Now, Glenn's gonna eventually see a time where he's not gonna be that valuable anymore. But I'm telling you guys this right now. If I had to play 250K today, I'd start Glenn Robinson over Chris Mullen in a heartbeat. And so that's why I'm putting them in the same tier. But I would be lying to say I don't prefer Glenn over Chris Mullen. Grant Hill is that little bit better. It pains me that Grant Hill is no longer an S tier caliber player because he is great. Grant Hill is so good. And maybe he is an S tier player. Maybe I am going to move him up to S tier. I am not giving Grant Hill enough credit. 83 3-ball, 95 driving dunk, incredible playmaking, speed, and lateral quickness. Everybody is saying that Andre Kirilenko is better than Grant Hill. Well, I don't disagree because of his badges. Statistically speaking, it's tough. Grant Hill offensively is better than Andre Kirilenko, and it's not even close. Defensively, though, AK is just a different breed. Andre Kirilenko is a better Grant Hill. They're going to do different things for you. They're both 3-and-D players, though. Andre Kirilenko is overall the better card. And it just pains me that I don't have a spot for Grant Hill. I guess I got to put him at A tier because of that. But I love Grant Hill. If you can get your hands on Grant Hill, you're probably going to have a lot of success. I'm going to move Bernard King right back down. Isaiah Thomas, you're going all the way up to S tier. I think Isaiah Thomas is my second best point guard in the game behind Gary Payton, 6'1", 6'4" wingspan. Good speed, lateral quickness, Hall of Fame dimer, floor general, very good defender all the way around. Jump shot 14. Isn't necessarily the best release, but it's a release that I don't think is terrible. Pretty solid in the catch and shoot situation. You do have to fully badge Isaiah Thomas to take him kind of to that next level. But I do like IT. I like what he can give me. I like what he brings to the table. Overall, he's a very, very solid card. We're going to put some of these lower end players on this list up in here. Zion, F tier. Like, Zion Williamson stinks. I'm going to show you his stats just so you guys get a feel. This card stinks. A lot of it comes down to he doesn't do anything well on the court outside of dunking, and his release is terrible. Paul Pierce, D tier is where I'm going to take him. Not very good in this game overall. He's fine. There's just nothing about him that is next level. Michael Jordan, it might surprise a lot of people. I'm going to put him in C tier. I don't see what Michael Jordan does on the court, and that is that great. Am I wrong by putting him in C tier? Maybe. But I just think he lacks so much on both ends of the court. Came out 2 weeks ago. When he came out, he was fine, but still, I mean, who is he better at that I have ahead of him? Let me know, because I don't think anybody. Kawhi Leonard, gonna throw him in C tier as well. I think Kawhi is better than Karan, Girvin, and Paul Pierce. Just don't think he is that great. But as far as bottom tiers, I just don't think there's that much here. I mean, I have these tiers because there is some separation here, but there's not that many players that are that bad. So we're gonna keep it going. If Ja Morant was out today, he would be S tier. Okay, I'm just gonna throw him into S tier because if he was out today, he would be an S tier caliber point guard. You fully badge him up, he's gonna be up there. Shift dribble style, Paul George base. I still don't think he's better than Gary Payton, and I don't think it's particularly close. But if he was released today, he's S tier. By the time I think he's going to be able to be obtained, which is still in like 3 or 4 weeks, I'm going to throw him in C tier. I think that's how good Ja Morant's going to be when he is obtained. So how do I value him right now? C tier player. Because in 4 weeks, that's where he's going to be. I know that probably is going to get a lot of heat in the comments because Ja Morant is better than these guys, and I'm going to leave him off the list. But I just wanted to talk about Ja Morant and how I valued him compared to when we get to Kevin Garnett. Jason Terry is a very good point guard. He's at least B tier, and we're going to talk about Jason Terry because he might be A tier. You look at Jet, 93 3 ball, 95 speed, 87 lateral quickness, can get the defensive badges. I'm sorry, Jason Terry is an A tier point guard. He's opposite Derrick Rose, but he is an A tier point guard. Quick dribble style, jump shot 22. This card, if he was not named Jason Richardson, would be so hyped up. Just going to do this comparison for you guys because I know a lot of you guys are going to slander me. Hey, Steph Curry is overall the better card. But look at offensively where the stats come from, right? Driving dunk plus 25. Outside of that, offensively, they're very similar. Same speed, same lateral quickness, pass perception, defensive consistency, interior strength, driving dunk. Those are the stats that really get the plus 221 attribute boost. Rebounding's there as well. I do not think Jason Terry is that much worse than Steph Curry. I really do not. Jason Terry is at least an A tier point guard in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. We might have to move him down though because of how many people are at A tier. Jaylen Brown, I'm gonna throw into B tier. It pains me to do that, but that's just how good the shooting guard position is in general, right? When we get to guys like Kobe, guys like Vince, that's where you guys are going to see how good the shooting guard position is in general. Jaylen Brown might get moved up. I'm just going to move Jason Terry down because I think he is down a tier, and so is Derrick Rose. B tier is overexerted right now. It is. There's a lot of players at B tier, and I've had a lot of movement, but it's just tough because you're ranking the best out of the best. So when I get to guys like Steph Curry, Kobe Bryant, I need a spot for those type of cards. Joel Embiid, I have to throw into B tier as well. We're going to have to do some movement, probably 7 feet tall, 81 3 ball, 80 driving dunk, decent enough speed, lateral quickness. Here's the thing with JoJo. Really bad vertical, really bad rebound chaser. He's going to be a really bad rebounder. Stretch big wise, he's going to be very, very solid though. I think B tier is a perfect spot for JoJo to plug in right here. And honestly, guys, I thought Joel Embiid was going to be better than he is, but because of the bronze rebound chaser and bad vertical, just can't value him any higher. Josh Smith, we're going to throw into C tier. I think Joel Embiid is a guy I'd rather have than Josh Smith. For their value, give me Josh Smith, a guy that can play defense absolutely incredibly. Good release, so the 3-ball feels a little bit better than it should, especially with no shooting badges. The fact that you can green threes this year with the 74 3-ball and no shooting badges consistently is scary. He's C tier. I want to move him up to B tier, but I just can't. I just can't find a spot. But the problem is Ben Wallace is going to have to get moved down because I don't know in a competitive game who I'd rather have between Josh Smith and Big Ben. I like Big Ben, but it's just the fact of the matter when I don't know who I'd rather have between the two. K Disney, you're going to S tier. Do I really even need to spend time talking about him? Compare him and Carmelo. You're looking at the top 2 small forwards in the game. 93 3-ball, 85 driving dunk, can make plays, ball handle is good enough. 90 speed, 87 lateral quickness, Hall of Fame sniper, good defender. I could go on and on about KD. The dude is fantastic all the way around. Kevin Garnett right now, obviously S tier. When he'll become available, is still going to be S tier. How many centers do we have in 2K right now, outside of Dolph, that can do what KG can do? Nobody. That's your answer. And KG is still going to do some things better than Dolph. But Dolph is a rare exception too. Dolph's only 6'8", right, where KG's 6'11". KG's just going to be able to rebound, defend on the interior, Hall of Fame interceptor, Hall of Fame gold, or you can give him quick first step, can give him sniper, limitless. He's going to be the man with the plan when he comes out. I'm excited to get him. Grinded level 40 is always tough to do, but this season, I mean, I'm already making good strides towards it. So KG, I'm going to plug in S tier. Kobe Bryant, it's tough. I might not even have a shooting guard in S tier, and it's going to be weird because I don't like doing that, but how can I physically put Kobe Bryant over Grant Hill? Grant Hill is a so much better player than Kobe Bryant, But the problem is Grant Hill can't play shooting guard. And that's the problem I'm having with this is I have a problem putting a guy who's not better than the guy above him. And so it's hard for me to put Kobe Bryant into S tier, but I'm going to try to make my best lineup or whatever at S tier, so we'll see. I'm going to just plug Kobe Bryant into A tier right now. Larry Bird, guys, I'm sorry if you locked him in, is a C tier card. You guys might disagree with me in saying that, but hear me out. Larry Bird, outside of shooting the ball, which a lot of people can do, what does he really give you? I know he's got Hall of Fame bullet, but outside of shooting the basketball, he is slow. He can't handle the ball. There are so many flaws with Larry Bird. He's a C tier player, and I'm sorry for everybody that locked in for Larry Legend. Bron, we're going to move Bron into A tier. I think he's right with Grant Hill, where guys that I really like, but that small forward, power forward position right now is just too good. I mean, it's just too good. We're going to organize these guys by positions so I can start to get a little better feel for where we're at. But it's just like, for me, guys like Grant Hill and LeBron are better than probably Kobe Bryant, stat and badge wise and just how they play. But it's just Kobe has that better position, so we might have to drag Kobe up. Miles Bridges, a card that just did get released, who I think is solid enough to make this best player list. 6'6", 6'9" wingspan. There's no real flaws in the card. Defensively, not going to be the best, but you can fully badge him up to make him solid. Player-wise, again, not solid. He's basically a 3-and-D guy that can attack the rim really well, right? With the 95 driving dunk, good release, good three ball. I think he belongs in C tier. It's hard to make anybody in D tier. I am going to drag Dave being down, though. I'm just not high at all on Dave being with that release. MO card, another guy I'm going to drag right to that C tier card that can defend very, very well. But the problem with him is he can't really handle the ball too well with him because his playmaking badges aren't good. Driving dunk is just pretty mediocre. 75 three ball is okay. No shooting badges. Defensively, he's going to be solid, but, I mean, he leaves a lot to be desired on the offensive end of the court. That's why I'm going C tier with my man's car. Miles Turner on A tier center in my team. Him, Dikembe, Dwight, it's really all preference. Miles Turner is kind of that in-between where we got guys like AD, right, who probably won't rebound the ball as well as Miles. Miles is not going to be as fast as AD. Miles Turner, for his value, I think is really solid. I'm going to bring up his stats here. I think for his value, he is very solid. 86 three ball, going to be knocked down, defend on the interior, be a good enough rebounder with gold rebound chaser, Hall of Fame catch and shoot. A lot of people are running Miles Turner. I just prefer some of the other centers in the game. It's really as simple as I can put it. Oscar Robertson is the next guy we're going to talk about today, and I have respect for what Oscar can do. Now, with that being said, I have respect for him. He can't get clamps, can't get interceptor, intimidator. My question to you guys is Oscar Robertson better than Spencer Dinwiddie? My answer to that, personally, is no. You guys can hate me if you guys want. My personal answer is no. Oscar Robertson's going to be at C tier for me. I'm sorry if you locked him in, but I'm not super, super high on the card. Paul Silas is a card I am super high on. A card that undoubtedly is better than LeBron and Grant Hill. The problem with Paul Silas is you're looking at another guy who is a small forward, power forward. So when it comes down to it, I might just have to play small ball with Dolph at center because of how many good small forward and power forwards that we have in 2K. It's ridiculous to think that we have AK, Paul Silas, KD, Carmelo, Grant Hill, LeBron. And the crazy part about it is we still got to get a power forward, Giannis. We still got to get another LeBron, which we are probably going to get before the next quals. It's just going to get absolutely ridiculous. Pistol Pete Maravich is a card when he came out, I said was probably the best point guard in the game. Problem is he better than Isaiah Thomas? For me, I don't think so. I'm going to put Pistol Pete in the top of A tier because I'm going to try to make my lineup or my only players S tier, only 10 of them. With that being said, Pistol Pete is absolutely incredible. If you are a 300 type of player, you're probably gonna like guys like Pistol Pete over guys like Isaiah Thomas and Gary Payton. 6'5", I like that. It's just he can't defend on the interior. Strength's pretty low. Dunking's not great, and defensively leaves a lot to be desired. I still don't mind Pistol Pete at all. He's just not necessarily my top point guard in the game. Richard Hamilton, let's do this. Because I'm interested in this. Richard Hamilton is a card that statistically and badge-wise does not compare to the guys like Grant Hill. I don't think he's better than Grant Hill stat and badge-wise. My question to you guys is, at the shooting guard position, who's better than Richard Hamilton? You go to the shooting guard position, tell me who's better than Richard Hamilton that you can play here. You got guys like all these point guards. The next up, we got Chris Mullen, Vince Carter, Kobe Bryant. Are any of those guys better than Richard Hamilton? I don't think so. I honestly think Richard Hamilton is our best shooting guard in my team. And that's not saying he's worth locking in or saying anything, but that's me saying he might be S tier and I don't like him more than Grant Hill. But that it's just what it's saying. I'm not super high on Richard Hamilton, but I don't know what else to tell you guys. Hall of Fame blinders, the guy's solid enough. He's definitely not worth the lock-in, so please do yourself a favor and don't lock him in. But he's solid enough in 2K, and so is Russell Westbrook. I know a lot of people ask me, Ty, is Russ the top point guard in the game? No, but if you are a rim running type of player, he's just, in my opinion, a little better version of Derrick Rose. That's kind of the best way I describe it. I do like D-Rose's release quite a bit better, a lot quicker. But Russ is just going to do some things for you. Going to be a better rebounder, way better defender. And that's the thing for Russ. If you want to make Russ an A-tier point guard, I'm not going to sit here and disagree with you. But the thing about it is Russ that much better than Derrick Rose? I don't think so. The surprise of the tier list is Spencer Dinwiddie being in D tier. If it's my list, if it was just my specific list, he'd probably be A tier for me. I'm going to compare these cards so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Oscar's going to have better stats and badges. I understand that. But hear me out. I like Spencer Dinwiddie's release better. Spencer Dinwiddie's a better shooter. I do not care about post moves. So yes, you got 84 of these 205 stats that are basically post moves. Bring that down to about 80. I don't need Spencer Dinwiddie to defend the best player. So all these defensive badges, yes, while they are fantastic, they are great, they don't really matter that much to me. What matters is speed. What matters is his three ball, his speed with ball. Rebounding matters a little bit, but I think Spencer Dinwiddie is better for me personally than Oscar Robertson. Some other things to look at: shifty dribble style, jump shot 77. You want to see what Oscar has? Hey, let's check it out. Base dribble style and Oscar's release. I'm making the bold statement by saying right now, Spencer Dinwiddie is better than Oscar Robertson. On next gen specifically, this current gen I don't think so, but on next gen specifically, if you use him as a screener, you're going to enjoy Spencer Dinwiddie if you know how to use him. Steph Curry, I'm going to go A tier. Right with Pistol Pete, those two can go right alongside each other. They're going to do basically the same thing for you. Be great 300s. But on the flip side of things, they leave a lot to be desired on the defensive end of the court. So as far as a complete point guard, I think Isaiah Thomas, I think guys like Gary Payton are just that step above a guy like Steph and Pistol Pete. Nonetheless, Steph and Pistol Pete both solid enough to be A-tier point guards and probably the top two offensive point guards in all of 2K. Vince Carter, the only shooting guard that I'm comfortable with putting in S tier. Yeah, he is. He is the only shooting guard I am 100% comfortable with putting in S tier. He is. I mean, 87 three ball, 89 speed, 95 driving deck, 83 lateral quickness, can handle the ball. Here's what I like about him. Attacking the rim, fantastic. Bronze, limitless spot up, silver sniper. A lot of these badges can't be upgraded. But defensively, you can make Vince Carter incredible. And that's the thing I don't think that gets talked about enough. When you give a 6'6 guy with a good player build, clamps, interceptor, intimidator, menace, those badges, you're going to have some success with him. So I have a fully badged up Vince Carter. And because of his release, I don't plan on selling him anytime soon. I do think he's my best shooting guard in the game. I take him over Richard Hamilton. Wilt Chamberlain, because of how he can mash, I'm going to throw him into C tier. Look, wherever Ben Wallace is, that's where Wilt Chamberlain has to be. I think those two go alongside each other. Wilt's going to be able to do some more things for you because he's 7'1". Well, Ben Wallace does have the, 90 speed and lateral quickness. So I think they got to go alongside each other as the top inside, some of the top inside bigs in the game. Zach Levine, I guess, because of how talented he is on the offensive end, I got to put him at B tier. And because I've lost plenty of games to Zach Levine in competitive settings, if I'm high on Spencer Dinwiddie because he doesn't need to play defense for me, I get how people can use Zach Levine. I totally get it, right? He has quick dribble style. He has a top release in the game. I get it. Limitless takeoff, get a dunk on people, is obviously a very good shooter. I'm now starting to understand how you can hide some guys as long as they're not 6'1", 6'2", 6'3" on the defensive end of the court. I can put Zach Levine in B tier. So this is our tier list, right? I told you guys I wasn't going to rank Ja Morant, and I'm not going to rank Kevin Garnett either. So if I don't rank KG, I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 players at S tier. The easy addition for me, because I need a center, is Anthony Davis. Plug him in there. That is my tier list for today. I tried not to get 2 lines at every tier, so if you want to move a guy up a tier, down a tier, you definitely can. Don't have that many at the bottom 2 tiers because there's not that many bad players in the best players in the game, if that makes sense. But I wanted to add a few guys just so you guys could get a feel of some of the worst. But this is my tier list for today. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments because I'm very intrigued. And I know a lot of you guys aren't probably going to agree with this. So let me know them down below in the comments. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you are new. And as always, man, I love you guys and have a blessed day.